GP World History.
Yeah, yeah.
Period 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Bree, Jake, and Raquel.
Yeah, yeah.
Rene, Descartes.
Rene Descartes was born March 31st, 1596 in La Haye, France. His father was Joachim Descartes, a councillor in Parliament. At the age of 8, he attended Jesuit College and studied literature, math, grammar, and science. In 1616, at the age of 20, he received his first baccalaureate and licentiate degree in law. Descartes was in the military, but he gave up on that. In 1637, he published a book about mathematics called Geometry. From then on, he became interested in science and math.
Rene Descartes was a famous French mathematician and scientist. In 1618, he journeyed to Holland and met a student, Isaac Beckman. Descartes taught Isaac how mathematicians can be applied to science and medicine. After he fought in the war, he came back and wrote a book called Geometry. Isaac kept a journal, and in 1618, Descartes had combined algebra equations and to solve geometric problems, which led him to invent analytical geometry. Descartes was a mathematician until his last few years of his life. He became interested in science. When he got into science, he studied the human body. He then came up with a theory about human emotions, which was the external cause of the emotion set off a response and generates a corresponding emotion at the same time. In simpler form, that means every living organism has a rational. Descartes accomplished many things before his death at age 54 in year 1650. His accomplishments in math consist of algebra and geometry. Algebra led him to geometry, which influenced him to make a book about it. That was one of his major accomplishments in his life. When Descartes was in the army, he shut himself into a stove to keep warm. He began to dream flashing lights and thunder, which revealed him to geometric proposition that can be transferred into algebraic terms. Science then came into play after the army. He started to dissect different animals to find if a memory exists in the dead animal. That then developed his theory of human emotions. That theory is still existent today. He also wrote many books that contributed himself to the scientific revolution.
In Descartes' time period, science and math were questionable. People didn't know who to believe, but Descartes formulated his own ideas. He wrote books on them when he was certain about his ideas. He was credited as the father of analytical geometry, the bridge between geometry and algebra, crucial to the discovery of calculus and analysis. Since he invented science and math, it helped the people in his time period to understand the world better. For example, they thought the world was flat, but because of the new knowledge, they figured out it was round. He defeated skepticism because he was the first major philosopher of his time. Descartes' hometown is now named after him because of how much he impacted his area in time.
Descartes influenced math and science in the Western civilization. His views about knowledge, certainty, relationship, and body have been very influential over the last 3 centuries. If it weren't for Descartes, ideas people nowadays wouldn't be mathematically educated.
It's blooper time!
And at the end, you should be like,
Western civilization. Bree, leave the room! Leave the room!
Descartes.
Starting now. Rene Descartes was a famous French mathematician and scientist.
My nose is stuffy.
Ew.
I'm not about the music.